Yeah, hi, I'm Paul, that's paularcher.com. You guys don't do email, do you? Here's a little story for you that talks to you about modern communications and how we communicate with our customers, and some ideas for you as well. Last September I was running a workshop over in Hertfordshire for some 20-somethings. They were literally just about 21, 22. And we were talking about businesses and communicating with corporates and businesses. And I was talking about the use of, the ubiquitous use of email. And they kind of all looked at me with a blank stare, and I said to them, I said, you understand email, don't you? But you guys don't do email, do you? And they all looked at me and nodded no. We don't do email, they said. And I was shocked by this, really, because email is really important. But to these 20-somethings, we did a straw poll, 1 to 5, what's the most important ways in which they communicate? Number 1 is texting, of course. Number 2 is Twitter. Number 3 is Snapchat, whatever that is. Number 3 is WhatsApp. And number 4 is Facebook, the messaging service. And of course, every item is used on a smartphone. A smartphone has 100% use when it comes to communicating. Yeah, admittedly, they're communicating mostly to their friends and colleagues. But the fact is that we have young people in our businesses and we just have this drive for email all the time. And email's fine, don't get me wrong, I use it all the time. But the younger generation just don't do email. So some questions for you to get you thinking, really. Number 1, how do you currently communicate with your customers? Number 2, what other means do you communicate with your customers by? I mean, do you obviously use the phone? Do you use email? How else do you communicate? Do you use Twitter? Do you use Facebook messaging service? Is there any other kind of method in which you use to communicate with your customers or are able to communicate with your customers? Number 3, how do you send documents to customers? Obviously post, email attachments, but email attachments are very dangerous things because they never get through, do they? And many corporates have maximum file size problems as well. And they often go into spam folders as a result of sending email. So how else do you send emails? Can you send them as links? Can you send a link so somebody can download it to their smartphone? Twitter, of course, you can send links quite happily. Emails, you can send links as well. But you can send links all over the place for people to download or read their PDF from a web page somewhere. They don't have to physically have it in their inbox. So there's a couple of ideas there for you about things. Times are changing, they really are. Email may well be the most important communication tool used now, but customers of the future may not want to use email or might just access their Hotmail account every couple of weeks or something ridiculous like that. So there's a few ideas for you. Hope you found that useful. Paul at paularcher.com.